Hi everyone. My video is not blocking the most of the screen. So today I'm gonna make a little, hopefully short video on how I would prefer, or the way I think right now, as with my experience so far on Canvas, how to basically utilize our Canvas website to give students assignments, meaning you tell them something to do, they do it, and they turn it in, and you grade it. And then I'll talk about the grading system once we're there. You can also give them resources if you just want to give them a paper to read and don't expect them to um, have any deliverables. Then you can just give them something, um, and hopefully this is flexible enough. So, because for example, let me just go up to here, right? If I This is the Canvas page. So those of you who never used it before, um, if you just click on Home, I think it just goes to the this module list. So everything is kind of organized into modules. You can expand them all, um, and so you can have discussions. And this is just the module name. So so it's not necessary to have only discussions here. So for example, click on this little plus button on this module. Oops, the plus button, right? A little screen pops up and tell me, oh, what do you want to make here? I can make an assignment. I can make a quiz. So the difference between an assignment and a quiz is that I think a quiz you can put answers like A, B, C, D, multiple choice type of stuff. So I don't think we'll be using quizzes that much. So we'll be mostly using assignments where we give a students, some videos to watch, and then they, do something, and then they turn in something and you grade it. Okay. You can also, attach a file. Um, this is basically a free demonstration version that's hosted by Instructure.com. So no one's paying for this. So we actually have limit of 250 megabytes of storage. So I prefer, people don't post too many files up here unless they have to. You can make links to files, which doesn't take up any space. So I think that's will basically allow us to use this page, this website a little bit longer. You can even create a page. So a page is basically kind of like a website where you can just give information to the students. You can create a discussion where multiple students can respond to each other, plus you. You can talk to each other, and then you have a little discussion thread. You can make a text header. A text header is just some information you can see on the module itself. You can make an external URL link or an external tool. I don't think we have any external tools yet, but if you're watching this YouTube video, most likely you're clicking on this external URL because this is just the link to the YouTube video that you're watching right now. But what I'm going to do is show you guys how to create an assignment. In fact, I'm going to not make it up here in the discussion module. I'm going to make it down here in the part I'm mostly working on. Actually, before I do that, I'm just going to show you guys kind of like the other modules, right? So there's the modules on doing paperwork and clocking hours. Is just to show the students that to make sure they know how to clock hours to get paid. Hoping that others will be contributing to the research skills, atmospheric science stuff. I'm mostly adding to the computational training. But if you are, doing specific research on AeroNet or wildfires, you can post your modules to um, these, post your assignments to these specific modules, and that way it's kind of organized. So when a student come up here, it's like, wait, where is this module in now? It's just a way to hierarchically organize the information a little bit at least, so it's not just a big giant list of stuff. But I'm going to be creating an assignment just to demonstrate how I think would be a good way to make these assignments. So there's already a few assignments here, but I'm going to make a new one. So just to show you guys how these gets made. So I'm going to make an assignment to basically have the student read the first chapter of this book that I learned machine learning from. It's a pretty old book. It's like 6 years old. It's Introduction to Machine Learning Using Python. And I'm going to tell them to read the first chapter, follow the exercises, because there's exercises within in this textbook that they can follow along with, and then post their Jupyter Notebook on GitHub, and turn in the link as the answer to the assignment. And then when they turn in the link, I can just click on that link, open the Jupyter Notebook, look at what they did, and see if it makes sense and give them a grade. Okay, so that's the idea of the assignment. So let's make it. Let's go over here. So you click on the little plus button. So I'm going to make an assignment, right? There are other assignments that's already existing, but we don't have to do that. So we're going to create a new one. So let's call this Intro to Machine Learning, okay, with Python. Okay, right. And I'm adding this to the computational training module. But if you don't like it in this particular module, you can move things between modules actually. Well, maybe. I think if I refresh, it will update it into the career development side. Okay, never mind. Supposedly you should, oh, I need to maybe blow this up. Sorry, and move this down. Okay, now it moves, sorry. And then I can move it back. Hope. Then move it up here. Yeah, there it goes. Okay, I'm gonna put this on the bottom. Okay, so when you create an assignment, it's not gonna be published. Therefore, it's not doesn't have this little green check mark because we need to change the assignment. Well, put the actual assignment in before we publish it. So you click on the assignment, you click on edit. Once you edit, you have this little box. You can drag this to make it a little bit bigger, right? And then you can put and tell basically students what you want them to do. The first thing I like folks to do is actually tell the students what they're going to learn from this. So you really want to type in the learning objectives of this assignment, okay? And you can make a little list, let's say with numbers, okay? So number one, what I want the students to learn, okay? So to basically the first thing I want them to do is basically, gain some introduction background knowledge on machine learning using Python, okay? You will gain some background introduction to machine learning in Python, okay? And this textbook is kind of cool because in this first chapter, not only does it do that, it actually teaches you how to install Python. And this textbook is still using Python in terminal mode. For me, I prefer that they use Jupyter Notebook. There's actually a little note on Jupyter Notebook here, but they don't use it. Anyway, and they also use GitHub, and so there's actually a lot of information that's all kind of cross-linked here already. But right, what I want them to do is to set up. Yeah, you will set up your own installation of Python and run your code using Jupyter Notebook. Okay, then you will upload your code using GitHub to have a repository of your work. Okay, so those are the 3 learning objectives. So I want them to get some background information about Python and machine learning, but also learn how to use Jupyter Notebook, and then be able to upload those codes so that it's backed up, and then there's also revision tracking. Okay, so that's the learning objectives. So now I'm going to tell them what to do. Okay, so please read through chapter 1 of Moller's Introduction to Machine Learning using Python. I think that's the title of the book. Machine learning with Python. Okay. So I type with Python. Okay. And I'm going to give them this link. So this book is fairly easy to find on the internet. So, I have a copy of it. I actually have multiple copies of this book, but it's a fairly old textbook. So there are a lot of ways to get it without actually purchasing it. Okay, so I tell them to read through the book. Okay, then follow the exercises in the textbook in chapter 1 using Jupyter Notebook. Okay, So I'm specifically telling them, okay, don't use the terminal version where you just have this interactive box. Run it in Jupyter Notebook. That way they have a big file. They're going to have a big file at the end that they can upload to GitHub. Follow the exercises using Jupyter Notebook. Okay. Then, right, so in case they don't know how to run Jupyter Notebook, for those who have not run Jupyter Notebook before, here's the link to install Jupyter Notebook. Here's the link to a video where I show you how to use it. Okay, so this is a separate YouTube video that I posted before already. It's actually in one of the other lecture classes. So I'm going to put that link and put it up here. Right. Ooh, that's a really big. Paste without formatting. There it goes. Right. So it's kind of nice, you know, all these web link becomes links, so you don't have to edit it yourself. Once you're done with the chapters, exercises, right, upload it to GitHub. Okay, and there's a separate video on where I'm showing them how to upload things to GitHub. And paste the link to this assignment, IPython Notebook for credit. Make sure any files needed to display the notebook properly is properly. Oh, without the T. Properly is also uploaded to GitHub. Okay. Okay, so that's the assignment. So what I'm going to do is I'm telling them what they're expected to learn from this, what they need to do to learn this stuff, the exercises they're going to do to turn it in, how to turn it in, and then I'm going to give them 10 points. Well, we're going to make all the assignments out of 10 points. So anything above a 7, that means a pass. So the students don't have to redo it. If you give them a 6, you're telling the students they should redo it. And we'll try not to give students too many 10s, because I think there's always room to improve, right? So since I'm asking the students to upload and paste the link to this assignment, right? So the submission is going to be online. You can, in this case, we're going to have a website URL. You can also have them do a text entry where they just type in stuff on a box. You can have them record something. You can do a student annotation where they're annotating, like a paper or something like that. You can even have them upload a PDF or a Word doc if you want a longer document. Okay. So when you assign the points, the submission type, and then you're going to assign this assignment to a particular student. Do not assign this to everyone, because then everyone will get this. Okay. I'm using Anthony as a guinea pig because he's no longer, logging into this regularly. So hopefully he's not going to get spammed too much. But I'm going to assign this to Anthony. So, but if you're assigning this to Stephen or whoever, whichever students you want, you can just click on their name, and then you can pick a due date. So maybe like 2 weeks from now will be a good due date. So October 11th. Okay. And then before you assign, you also have to make sure this assignment is available. So if you click on the 27th, I think this makes it available at midnight tonight. So 12 a.m. Okay, I think it makes it available last midnight. So the student should be able to see it today. And then you just click on publish, and then you'll get this warning that not everyone is assigned to this, and this is the way we want to do this, because otherwise everyone will be getting everything. And you can continue. Okay, and now the assignment has been assigned to Anthony. If you want to assign this to a different student, you can also add to a different student, and then you can actually click, a different student, and you can even set a different due date, and you can make it available from a different time also. So if you don't want Jonathan to see this assignment until next week, you can pick that, which is kind of cool. So, but I'm not going to assign this to Jonathan, so I'm going to delete this for now. All right. Once the assignment is done by the student, there's going to be a little box here. Okay, so if I go back home, the little thing. I think for me, I see this. I'm not sure if you're just other teachers, you'll see this. So there are other. This little to-do list is basically stuff that students have turned in order for you to ready for you to grade. For example, if I click on this grading moving average thing from Alan, who turned it in, right? So he turned in a web link to GitHub, just as I asked him to do, and then and I can look at it here, which is not that great. I can actually open it up, right? And this actually opens up the GitHub page so that I can actually look at the plot. And so in this case, so if I try to run this code, well, I'm gonna reply to, actually I'm just gonna do the grading, right? So he linked the GitHub page, but he didn't put the file and the outputs for the file code. That way I cannot see the plot, I can only see the code, right? So I'm gonna give him a 6, maybe a 5, give him a 5, okay? I'm gonna reply to this. When you're turning in your codes on GitHub, make sure that the plots you've made are visible already. Visible. Oh, visible. In this case, you have to run the code block before uploading the notebook to GitHub. Please do this. Okay, so if I give them a 5, I'm telling the students they have to do something. They haven't finished this this assignment yet, and I'm giving them a reply and telling them what to do. Okay, this way you can go back and forth until you're satisfied with the assignment. And then so Alan will get this little message, and then he will hopefully get this done maybe next week. Okay, so that's kind of cool actually. I get to get this feedback to Alan. Okay, so you go back to the home page, right? So this is home page. So now that assignment had disappeared from my to-do list. So because I technically graded it. So I think everyone as a teacher will get this complete list. So if you're grading assignments, don't grade assignments that's not you're not assigning, so that other people don't get confused. So that way they get this notification that the students have turned something in. Okay, so hopefully this is helpful, and then we will see if this works out. Thanks.